Why is John called the beloved disciple? Well, that's a good question. You know, he had 12 disciples, and Peter, James, and John were in that inner circle. Peter, James, and John. They're the ones that were at Transfiguration, and there's almost like concentric circles. Peter, James, and John, and you have the rest of the disciples. And John is the writer of the Gospel of John, and he says in there 4 times in the Gospel of John, he refers to himself as the beloved, the one whom Jesus loved, rather than calling his name. Now, this has been debated over the years by theologians as to, is he bragging about this and calling himself the one whom Jesus loved, or is it an act of humility in not naming himself, which he does in Revelation? And here he doesn't name himself; he simply refers to himself as the one who Jesus loved. And now, does that mean that he loved John more than the rest of them? Doesn't imply that at all. He's talking about the Lord loved me. The Lord loved me. Listen to these citations here. John 13:23. One of his disciples whom Jesus loved was reclining at table at Jesus' side. It's one way of referring to himself. He doesn't say one of his disciples, the one, or one of his disciples, the super disciple. He just doesn't say that. He just says whom Jesus loved. What a great way to refer to yourself. John 19:26. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciples whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." And then in John 20, in verse 2, so she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciples, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." Again, he refers to himself. We can throw egotism, I think, out of the window here, and this is not John bragging about himself or drawing attention to himself. I think that what he's really doing is he's naming himself as anonymous, but saying the one who Jesus loved. The last example of that is John 21:7. That disciple whom Jesus loved, therefore said to Peter, "It is the Lord." When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea. So John, I think, appears not to draw the spotlight to himself, but to digress in some ways by just saying, not me, but saying the disciple that Jesus loved. And don't we all want that? Wouldn't that be nice if that was the title that we all went by? And you know what? It's true. You are the disciple that Jesus loves. You are the Bible in a Year participant that Jesus loves. You are the beloved of Jesus. If you enjoyed this video and you still have more questions about the Bible, remember to subscribe to this channel and download the free Ascension app for more Bible answers.